Ever feel like everyone around you just yaps too much? Let's change that with smart brevity, saying what you mean fast. Nowadays, I feel like people have forgotten how to effectively communicate. How can I say a few words and have so much meaning with them? And smart brevity is just the way of doing that. Saves yourself from being victimized because you're overusing words, that you're getting things out there that you probably don't even mean because you're not an effective communicator, you're not effective in smart brevity, which is saying exactly what you mean, using the words exactly how they're meant to be used. I don't know much about you, but I know you've had conversations in the past, arguments that just kept going on and on and on, and there was no point being brought up in that whole entire conversation. It was just a lot of blahs and blahs, but you weren't really feeling like it was going anywhere. You didn't feel like your point was getting across, and that's because you lacked of smart brevity. You lacked of just saying what you mean in that time that you had. But it isn't just that. It's not that one conversation or that one argument. It's every single one of them that feels like your point isn't getting across. Let me just show you one of the examples of that. Here's a long text that you've probably heard before of just somebody wanting to meet up. It's like, hey, are you maybe wanting to hang out later this afternoon, hit up some stores, get a bite? If not, no worries. Instead of all that blahs, you could just be saying, are you free to hang? And by initializing that, you're able to break off and add more to it without being and bringing all of that at once. Stop bringing all the details at once. Just get your point across. And then when you're out and free and actually hanging out with this person, that's whenever you can decide to branch off from it. Don't keep branching off on the very first thing you say to that person. Whether it's all those details, hey, this and that and this and that and this and that. They don't want to hear that. They want to move forward. They don't want to get straight to the end. And this is exactly how you should be communicating, because let's think of the answer behind that. Think of what you're saying and what you're trying to get the other person to say back at that. So if you say all of that, like, hey, are you wanting to hang out later this afternoon, hit up some stores, get a bite? No worries. So all of that just to get an answer of, yeah, sure, or no, I'm busy. And then if you were just say, you free to hang? Oh, no, I'm busy. Oh, yeah, that's cool. You're going to get the same exact answer every single time. You're going to get that small answer back. It's just saving you from saying all that extra stuff that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We say a lot of things at once to somebody, and it just doesn't matter in the moment right there. And if it keeps going, that's appropriate time to add on. But when you're just trying to go get a bite to eat with somebody, just have a small conversation with somebody. Build off of it. Don't go straight into just talking and talking and talking, because you lose interest. Nobody's wanting to communicate to somebody that is just going to keep talking and talking and talking. There's no room for the other person to say anything about it because you're just talking too much, and that person just has very few words to say back. You want to say things that people have more to say back, and not just little things like, oh yeah, to your 5 paragraph response to something that happened. And you're just like, the friend's like, oh yeah, I definitely get that, bro. I've been there. And then just you said all that nonsense just to get a like it's fine to like over communicate, over talk. I'm not saying it's a horrible thing. I'm just saying that are you using your communication the way you want it to be back on you? And that was another point I'm trying to make as well, is that we say so much that we just forget about what we're even talking about or trying to get point to in the first place. You're steering a car in circles and circles, and you're not going anywhere. You're just leading off with a bunch of wasted words that aren't taking you anywhere. So I strongly advise you take just something from Smart Brevity, whether that's listening to little parts or examples I give out, or just researching what the benefits are of knowing what you want to hear back in return and how to respond in a way that makes sense to other people. Because the goal of communication is that intent in it. There's something that made you want to tell this person or to communicate to this somebody. And they can't understand your intent if you're not being straightforward. And that is where the smart and smart brevity comes from, is that smart communication understands the purpose of your words and understands the intent of your words. It gives you that credibility behind your every word, showcasing that you know a lot more than just blabbering out all this nonsense about said thing. It gives you that credibility that shows people that behind your low use of words, there is somebody that is very knowledgeable on communication because your communication actually works. So realize that the more words that you are using, the less power they have, the less useful they are to something. Speak with purpose, speak with intent, speak with smart brevity.